So in terms of the developer behind the project, it's again with Gainsborough Limited, which some of you may have bought off through us before. This is our fourth project with Neil and Mark, who are the directors behind Gainsborough.
Settle, two in Lytham,
yeah,
now here.
Yeah, really, I would say sort of quirky model they've got, but works extremely well both for them and the investors alike. So ultimately they will be doing a back-to-back purchase with investors. So what that means is they will complete on this building with you as investors. Investors at that point will be putting 80% down. We've mentioned this is a cash purchase, so they'll be putting 80% down with the developer, and at that point you own the property. So 80% of the price, you own the property. You could do what you want if you liked at that point and do it yourself. So you'll own it. Then once the developers have got vacant possession, you will pay another 10% of the purchase price. During that time you will still be getting the rents of the tenants that are currently in the building, so you'll still be getting income at that point. And then once vacant possession is achieved, Neil and Mark will do the works. So they'll do the refurb works, which is, as we said at the start, there's not too much work to be done. New flooring, new painting, touch-ups of kitchens, bathrooms where needed. The exterior of the building's getting a brand new, facelift, getting new painting on it. So all that works will be done, and then you'll pay the final 10% at that point.
Which is perfect passing. In effect, they're putting the value on for you. That's what they're doing, you know. So it's a pretty normal model in a hands-on investor world, but we've just sort of brought that on to a passive investor world.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a real good tried and tested model. If you're unsure, speak to our solicitors that we would recommend speaking to. You can speak to Neil and Mark, the developers. They're very open on it. They've been doing it for a number of years, but we've just found it's a model works well. It gets new investors into this market, at really good prices on it. Hi, it's Mike here with Neil Whiteley, one of the developers behind our brand new development, Chester Heights in Chester. Neil, thanks for joining us. I thought if we start by just talking about why you chose Chester in the first place as your next area for developments.
Well, I think this is probably our fourth development now that we've done with you guys, and we normally take our yardstick from you guys. We've asked you where you wanted to really find sites, and you've sort of said Chester was one of your focal points. Probably because your office is here. We've
been pushing you for quite a while, haven't we, for a site in Chester and trying to find it. I guess just from our experience, we've got so much data on how well they've performed, our properties in particularly in short-term lets, but and on standard rentals as well. So yeah, I know we've been on to you for a while to find one.
And we managed to find one, and this is it. We've lucky enough to drop on this one, and hopefully we think Chester anyway is a great spot.
Yeah, and this particular one, it's a great location, isn't it? It's not right in the centre, but it's just slightly outside. We're 10 minutes walk into the centre, 10 minutes probably from the Chester Racecourse roughly, not far from the university, so it covers a lot of different angles, doesn't it?
And we saw this from a tourism point, that we know that certainly Chester's one of the most sought after tourist areas in the country. We also saw it from a business point of view as well, that would work. And so with a number of different parts that we thought this would be a good one for you.
And the actual building itself, stunning building really. I mean, even in its condition right now. Obviously it's all fully tenanted, and it has been for a long time.
Yes, it has.
You can't quite see it on this camera, but there's big communal garden areas that are really well landscaped. Car parking, which is rare, having a development this size in Chester to have it. 18 apartments in total. What's your plan with them in terms of the refurbishment works?
Well, the 17 studios and one bed. I mean, we've both been through the property. We've had a good look at it. Fundamentally, the bare bones are absolutely excellent. We've had a structural survey carried out on the property, and it's absolutely fine. The individual flats, they're actually excellent. The vast majority of the fixtures and fittings are absolutely fine. We intend, obviously, doing a plan of refurbishment in terms of decorating throughout, putting floor coverings throughout. Any areas that we think need some sort of attention, we will be looking at that and going through that with you.
Yeah, we were surprised, weren't we, how good a condition it was in when we come to look at it a couple of weeks ago. It was in really good condition on it. Like you said, full redecoration, painting of them all. We're looking at, you are putting air fryers in each of them and microwave ovens.
We are.
Fridge freezers, all that sort of thing. So it'll have that modern appliances as well to it.
Very much so. I mean, also the communal areas are absolutely fantastic. I mean, you go in there and you've got this sort of old sort of feel to it. It's got a real character edge to these properties. They've got high ceilings. You know, they just got something a little bit different from the modern blocks.
Yeah, and I think it sort of feels like when you walk in a little bit like a hotel, which is ideal. Particularly, you know, our end goal is to manage on short-term lets on that front, and this ticks all those boxes, probably more than any of the developments that we've worked on together, which is great. The exterior of the building, again, in really good condition, but looking to paint it all.
We'll be painting all that through, you know, and as with the communals internally, but certainly, I mean, again, structurally sound, but you know, certainly if looking at it, we could do with freshening up certainly externally. So no, that's something that's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of the purchase itself for investors, I mean, some watching will have purchased in some of your developments before and understand it, but for the purpose of those who don't, it's quite unique, isn't it? And works really well for both you and the investor in terms of the back-to-back.
Yeah, basically we come to you with a product. We fundamentally ask your investors to join with us on our purchase, and fundamentally what that means is that it enables your purchasers to acquire a property at 85% of the total value, which is unique, and at that particular time when we complete with your investors, they actually retain that property.
Yeah. So essentially, they're owning the properties at 85%.
Correct.
Of the purchase value, which is
correct.
Is superb, isn't it? You then obviously look to get vacant possession.
Correct.
Of the building.
And then at that particular point, when they become vacant, we would then request a further 7.5%.
Yeah.
Then we do the work schedules, and obviously at that particular point you will normally come around, or your team will come around and inspect the properties, and as and when you're happy, then the full 7.5% is released on completion.
Yeah, brilliant. And we'll do the usual sort of snagging type thing at that point
absolutely,
as well to bring it right
exactly
to,
right
to speed on it.
Exactly right.
Yeah, but no, it's a great model, and once you sort of get your head around it, you can understand why a lot of people like it and like to.
Well, it's nice to have something, isn't it, for 85% of the purchase price, really.
Yeah,
I mean, because you know, a lot of these schemes normally you have to wait until you're paying up front for something and not actually owning it.
Yeah.
So we think this works better for all parties.
Yeah, absolutely. No, exciting stuff. So those of you that don't know, we're looking to launch this development for sale. Should be next week, all being well. We're working on all the marketing material and everything like that at the moment. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll send all the details across when we have it. But thanks very much, Neil, for firstly bringing this opportunity for us, and thanks for coming on camera as well to speak.